Hello, halfway friends. This is Mrs. Laney reading Storm Runners, Chapter 1, 54 a.m. I think her light is definitely getting bigger, Rashawn said. Chase couldn't tell, but he was certain the wind was blowing harder. He and Rashawn were nearly hugging the road, trying to stay in one place. He hoped that when Nicole made it to shore, she had enough strength left in her legs to walk. Maybe I should swim out to her, Rashawn suggested again. I thought you said she was getting closer. I think she is, but she's been in the water a long time. She has to be getting tired. Let's wait, Chase said, but he was tempted to let Rashawn go. The problem was that they might have to carry Nicole, and he would need Rashawn to help him. They were 50 yards from the end of the levee road. As soon as Nicole reached shore, they'd have to move quickly or they'd be back in the water with the gators. According to the GPS, about 100 yards past the levee, the road took a sharp turn to the left. If the wind held its current direction, it would be at their backs all the way to the road the Rossi's farm was on. 2 miles up that road was the gate. They were less than 3 miles from safety. 3 miles, he said aloud, but the words were swept away by Emily. 2:08 a.m. I'm so sorry about your wife and little girl. I don't know how I would have. Something large and loud slammed into the side of the truck. John yanked the steering wheel toward the impact and stepped on the gas, trying to get the 4x4 under control. The truck slid sideways for 20 feet, then came to an abrupt stop against something hard. The airbags deployed. The engine stopped. John felt the side of his head where it had bounced off the window. There was a bump the size of an egg, but no blood. Everyone okay? He asked, pushing the airbag away from his face. You need side impact airbags. I'll get them when I replace this truck, which I probably just totaled. There are no airbags back here, Mark said, but I'm fine even though we just got hit by a flying tree. We got hit by a boulder, John said. Then we hit a tree. Whatever, Mark said. Bright headlights filled the windshield. Tomas, John said. They'd been following him on back roads for nearly 15 minutes. John tried to start the engine. Dead. He rolled the window down. A yellow rain slicker appeared at the window. Hurt? No, but I think we're going to have to buy another truck. Let's get the stuff transferred. Tomas nodded, then jogged around the back, seemingly oblivious to Emily's fury. A few minutes later, they were back on the road, with Tomas behind the wheel and St. Christopher on the dash. 2:11 a.m. Nicole knew she had have headed back to shore sooner, but every time she started in that direction, the possibility of missing Rashawn's call for help stopped her. Finally, she saw Chase's red and white flashing light. It was above her, which meant it had to be up on the road. Chase was either in trouble or Rashawn was with him. She prayed it was the latter and started toward the light. It turned out to be the most difficult thing she'd ever done in her life. She was swimming hard, but Chase's light was not getting closer. In fact, it looked like it was getting further away, and it was. Despite her efforts, the wind was pushing her backward. She began to think she should turn around and swim to the opposite shore, but she had no idea how far away it was or how hard it would be to get back around to the levee. The lake was surrounded by thick vegetation. She might have to find a place to shelter and wait out the storm. She decided to try to reach Chase one more time before giving herself to the wind. See, Rashawn shouted. Chase squinted against the rain at Nicole's light. It's getting bigger, Rashawn said, and there's a pattern to it. Her light disappears at regular intervals. The whitecaps could not possibly be causing that. Nicole's headlamp did seem to be getting bigger, or at least brighter. Chase stared at it until it disappeared. He glanced at his watch, noted the second, then looked back at the water where the light had been. The light reappeared. He looked at his watch. 30 seconds. The light bobbed crazily for 10 seconds, then disappeared again. He timed it 2 more intervals. They were the same within a couple of seconds. He looked at Rashawn. "See what I mean?" she said. What Chase saw was a 6th-grade girl with incredible courage. Instead of succumbing to paralyzing fear like any normal person would in a storm like this, she'd been able to figure out the pattern to Nicole's swimming. This meant that Rashawn was no longer afraid. Fire extinguishers? Thought. In the past year, not a week had gone by without his father reminding him of this. Rashawn had just reminded him.